Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to strip the car back down because we got some carbon doors, we got a carbon hatch, we got a carbon hood coming. So I'm gonna have to fit Lexan on the hatch. We're gonna have to part out the doors. So I'm gonna have to remove the doors, take the windows off, and we're gonna weigh them and see the difference. I kind of set the car up at ride height, which is the reason I did that is I'm gonna have to measure for the drive shaft. And if you guys don't know how the 4-link works, the 4-link bars and the way the car sits plays a role on how long the drive shaft is. So I made sure I measured everything. I just heard yesterday that NHRA rules state that there has to be 3 inches of clearance from the front of the car to 18 inches behind the center of the wheel. So basically from the front to like here, you gotta make sure that the ground clearance is higher than 3 inches. And the reason they do that is the beams that trip the light for you when you take off, when you're drag racing. Obviously the light has to go under the car, and if it's lower than 3 inches, then it won't trip it. So that is the desired ride height. I think that's perfect the way it is. You got exactly 3 inches of over there. There's about 4 inches there, and in the back there's about 5 inches. The chassis itself, so the chassis over there is about 5 inches. I still have to put the belly pan, which is over there, so that's gonna clear. So that is where it will sit. I know the engine is not there, but we'll adjust the springs to compensate for that. Very different from what it used to look. I always had the look where, the ass up, nose down kind of thing. But being 4-link, when you launch, it's gonna separate. So we want the drive shaft to be really high in the loop, so when you launch, there's a lot of room for separation. So yeah, that's kind of where ride height is going to be, which is still very low. I mean, the ground is like literally right there. So let's start taking it apart. I'm gonna take the doors off. We'll take the hatch off again. And I'm curious how much these doors weigh. I know these doors are really heavy. So I'm going to compare kind of the weight of the doors and the hatch, and then weigh the Lexan hatch and the carbon doors and see the actual difference. So let's get to it. Okay, got one door out. I took all the guts out because the window is gonna have to go back in. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I'll get the scale and we'll weigh both of them, but it's pretty heavy. So once we get the carbon door, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot lighter. Yeah, just take a look in here while we're here. Even these latches are heavy. I know it sounds stupid, but eventually when we do the front end, the tube front end, I guess we'll end up changing these. But yeah, cool. Let's do the other one. So both those are off. Replace the hatch. That's the original hatch. And we got the doors apart. Windows are out. Everything laid out. So basically, I found a guy in the US that wants to trade all the OEM stuff with carbon stuff. He had carbon doors. He had a carbon hood that he wanted to trade. They're used. They need some polish apparently, but they're in good shape. He sent me some pictures. So it was kind of worked out a good deal because I need the carbon. He doesn't want it. He wants OEM. He's trying to build a Supra from scratch. So it was kind of a deal where we're going to trade a bunch of stuff where it's in favor of both of us. So he's getting, you know, locks, steering column, an alternator, obviously the doors, and he's getting a complete hatch for, I'm trading the hatch for a Lexan for this, because this I already had, thanks to Kuram, he got that for me. So yeah, this hatch we're gonna save a ton of weight. I'm gonna say 80 pounds. I could barely lift that thing. And the doors are pretty heavy too. There's a lot of stuff that came out of them, like brackets and sliders and shit. So I'm gonna have to go through that and clean that up. Like see that slider there, that's what holds the window up. So I don't know if I'm gonna clean that up and, you know, make all I need is the window to stay up. I'm not gonna put Lexan in the window because then you have to buy a frame, you have to buy that latch that goes here. So I'm just gonna put the stock window there. It's not that heavy, so that's what's gonna go back. I actually took the wheels off because I'm going with the I'm getting these parts next weekend, so I figured I'll do something else. So I took the wheels off. I want to set up the 4 link brackets so I can measure the drive shaft length. The 4 link bars play a role in where the pinion sits to get the axle length. So I'm kind of plotting the 4 link bars on an online tool just to see kind of where I want them to start. I got a baseline of where the instant center has to be depending on how the 4 link bars are aiming. So yeah, this is the tire, massive tire. Yeah, it would barely come out, so I'm gonna have to, when I get the bigger tires, the 33, I think I'm gonna have to start dropping the shocks to be able to get those in there. We'll cut this here and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.